Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Tamayura deck profile for post-Minerva Rising. With the latest Cardfight Vanguard booster set, we got additional support for the glitter deck that actually uses 2 glitter units with Tamayura, Ririmi, and Rarami. Big thanks to my buddy Jim for letting me borrow his Tamayura deck for the deck profile. The deck focuses on being able to place Ririmi and Rarami into the soul for protection and then call them out using your main go-to grade 3 unit, Tamayura. We got the additional grade 1 versions of Ririmi and Rarami to use in the deck as well because their original versions were grade 2 copies. So now we also have their grade 1 copies. Having 2 of each glitter for a deck definitely does take up a good majority of the spots you'd use in the deck for any other cards, but they're very useful just for draw power, another retire and bind power, and with the use of your normal and blitz orders, it also makes it that much more powerful. Now there is another order for the deck called Broken Toys, which you can use, but it's more of a difficult promo to get, so I won't be including it in the deck, but I can show what cards you could take out for the Broken Toys promo if you were to run it. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the ride deck, our grade 0 is Nine-Tailed Fox Spirit, Tamayura. When this unit is rode upon, if you went second, you draw a card. So pretty standard for the starters that we have in D format. Our grade 1 is in the Calm Sunlight, Tamayura. When placed by riding from a Nine-Tailed Fox Spirit, Tamayura, look at the top 7 cards of your deck and choose up to 1 card with Ririmi or Rarami in its card name, or a Fox Art card from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So just more search power, being able to add any of those, or the Fox Art cards, which are the Blitz order, or even the new normal order that we got for the deck as well. So very useful for that search. Our grade 2 is Festival of Burning, Tamayura. When it's placed by riding from in the Calm Sunlight, Tamayura, choose up to 1 card with Ririmi or Rarami in its card name from your drop zone and put it into your hand. So this card gives you more of a search option, being able to have that recycle if you discarded Ririmi or Rarami for your ride deck place. And also, since we have a grade 1 option for both of them, it's just more of a chance that you will discard them for the discard for the ride deck. And our grade 3 is Deepening Night, Tamayura. At the beginning of your ride phase, you get all of your front row units get +5 to end of turn. So on top of the Persona ride, it's definitely a very useful skill for pressure. And also, when this unit attacks, you can counterblast 1 and perform all the following. You can choose a card from your soul, call it to rear. If you choose a card with Ririmi, its card name from your soul, and a card with Rarami, its card name from your soul, you can call them from your soul and call them to rear. So you can either choose both Ririmi and Rarami, or just 1 unit from your soul, depending on what you have. But most of the time, with the retire power that you have with Ririmi and Rarami, you'll be able to at least call both of them out onto the field for you to use. Along with that copy, we are also running the 3 copies additionally in the ride deck also, just for the Persona ride power that I mentioned before that this card can provide, and then having the +5 also at the beginning of the ride phase, giving all of your units the +5 additionally just adds more and more for what you may call out onto the field from your soul also. Moving on now to the grade 2s, I run 4 copies of Twin Direful Dolls Rarami, the first of the 2 twin glitter units. When it's placed from rear to rear, if you have a rear guard with Ririmi in its card name, you can Soul Blast 2 and draw a card. And with the glitter with Tamayura, when it's retired from the guard circle, you may put it into the soul. This is the glitter skill that it shares with Ririmi as well, just having that additional pressure thanks to this card. And also with our next one being Ririmi, or Twin Direful Dolls Ririmi. With your Rarami having draw power, you can rely on Ririmi when it's placed on rear. If you have a rear guard with Rarami in its card name, to Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and they put it into their soul, taking care of avoiding any retire skills or anything like that. Just being able to place it into the soul gives them less of a resource. They will have the Soul Blast option, but still that's 1 less rear guard for them to use. And then having the same glitter skill as your Rarami, when it's retired from the guard circle, you may put it into your soul. So even if you guard it from your hand or intercept with it, you'll be able to then just place it back into the soul for you to call out again the following turn with your Tamayura. And moving on now to the grade 1s. Now the ratios, like I said, there are a lot since we're running 2 different glitter units and both have 2 varying forms now. So 3 copies of the new Ladies and Gentlemen Rarami. When this card is put from soul into your drop zone during your turn, you can counterblast 1, call it to the back row rear guard in the same column as your front row unit with Ririmi and its card name. So it's an added support. If you do Soul Blast this card for a Tamayura call out, and then you get the skills of the grade 2 Ririmi and Rarami Ririmi, you can at least call this card out and get the additional setup with this card to be able to at least place other cards onto the field using it as a back row booster. And then also with Glitter with Tamayura, at the end of the battle this unit boosted, put all of your rear guards in the same column as this unit into your soul, and if a unit with Ririmi, its card name is put in the soul by this effect, choose one of your units and it gets +5 until end of turn. So you're able to power up another unit that hasn't attacked yet when this one goes back into the soul after it boosted. And for the other grade 1, 3 copies of the counterpart, it's Showtime Ririmi. So with this card, when it's put from the soul into the drop, counter+1, call it to the back row rear in the same column as a unit with Ririmi this time. So they just complement each other with the other grade 2s that you also run. And with Tamayura at the end of the battle, if this unit is boosted, put all of your units in the same column as this one. If your unit with Ririmi and its card name was put into your soul by this effect and you did not countercharge this turn, you can Soul Blast 1 and countercharge 1, making up for more of your counterblasting thanks to this card. When you would do the soul blasting, you at least have a little bit more soul, and you didn't countercharge already in this turn to do so again. For the other grade 1s that we run in the deck, 4 copies of the Searcher, Stealth Fiend Forktail. When it's placed on rear, you may look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 normal unit with Stealth in its card name or Glitter from among them, and then with that search, put it into your soul and shuffle your deck. So it just sets up more cards in your soul for you to use using this card. It's more of a situational type of card as well, but still very, very useful for you to get what you need properly in the soul for you then to call out with Tamayura. And then the last of the grade 1s, just 4 copies of the Sentinel Twin Buckler Dragon. If you have Elementaria Sanctitude, you can always replace 1 copy of this card for that Blitz order, just to stop any twin drive decks or triple drive decks that your opponent may try to use against you. And then for the orders, I'm running 3 copies of Scarlet of Fluttering Evanescence Light. Play this with a Soul Blast of 2. If you have a Vanguard with Tamayura in its card name, choose 1 unit card with Ririmi in its card name and up to 1 unit card with Ririmi in its card name from your drop zone and call them to rear guard. So this is just a normal order that can make full use of you making all your rear guards back onto the field again. For that setup, if they were in your drop zone, let's say, or if your opponent just tried to retire them, you can at least use this order to put them back onto the field again. So then if you were to intercept with them or at least attack after they've been boosted by the grade 1s, you can place them back into the soul again to call out in the next turn, or use them for a Soul Blast. And then 2 of the Blitz order from set 5 still as well, and that is Fleeting Shine that lights life. Play this card with a Soul Blast of 2. If you have a Vanguard Tamayura in its card name, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets on Vanguard all of your opponent's front row units get minus 10,000 power till end of turn. So it's more of a card that could disrupt your opponent if they already Persona Rode that turn. Then it takes away the Persona Ride power, or if they didn't, it's just that much more difficult for your opponent to hit over any of your cards. And then for the trigger lineup, we're running the 7 critical, so 4 copies of the Burning Flail Dragon and 3 copies of Conduct Spark Dragon for just the added pressure that your Vanguard can provide. And since we're going with some pretty powerhouse rear guards to attack after our Tamayura, we're running the 4 additional front trigger for the added plus 10,000 power to the front row pressure. And for the heals, 2 copies of the White Light Dragon Parasolus and 2 of the Cure Flare Draco Kid for the additional critical guard. You can run the additional attack unit for plus 10, but the critical one pops up more, so it's player preference at that point also, with our over trigger being the Veda for the restand power that we can give to our Vanguard. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. Once again, big thanks to my buddy Jim for letting me borrow the Tamayura deck for the video. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.